Johnson. Yeah.
I was at the last stop.
That's great. Yeah, that was like fun.
It's cowboy-like sound.
Right? I don't know.
Going through the desert, sort of?
Maybe. Victor, going?
Yeah, I know. Keep waiting. We're not quite yet. We're still
Here we go on a silver bullet. With Rick. When I'm going along, it's easy for me to hit, so I can't hold it right there. Alright, here we go. Whoa! Yeah. Nice. Really great. I laughed the whole time. Feast, they kept the holy day feast, not holidays, but these are holy. Holidays are for the world. Holy days are God ordained. There's a difference between a holiday and a holy day. This world knows about holidays. So, all right. So, as a result of this, you know, I charge for my service. Yeah, I hope you. All right.
No, I don't.
I want to hear this. No, I'm interested.
I'm interested because, see, I've got a guy at work who's a Catholic, and he's all about how Peter had started the Catholic Church.
No.
He was the first one, and the church followed Peter and all this stuff.
No.
Is that a misnomer in the
absolutely.
Catholic Church?
Listen. Jesus Christ said, He says, "You are Peter. You are Peter.
And I will build your church.
And I will build my church upon Peter." Now, the word Peter, the Aramean means
little rock. Yeah.
He was a little rock. He was Petros. He was a little, or Petra. He was a little rock. Now, Jesus Christ was the big rock. He says, "I am the rock. I am not the little rock, but Peter, Christ ordained as the head of the New Testament. Jesus Christ was the chief cornerstone. So all the law and the prophets were based or founded upon Jesus Christ as being the chief cornerstone. Well, all right, that's how it started. But the fact that
so what's the significance of Peter then? Why was
Peter was he was the head. He was over the other disciples. He was the head over the other apostles. There were 12 apostles, and actually there were 13 because when you add
Judas?
Judas was also.
No, he was one of the 12.
He was one of the 12, but then he disqualified himself, and he ended up committing suicide after he sold out Christ for 30 pieces of silver.
Yeah.
But the point was that there was a apostle that replaced him called, I think it was Matthias. He was ordained to replace Judas, who disqualified himself. So then there were still 12. But these were they were over what they call the lost house of Israel. They were going to the various tribes that were in the dispersion. That's why when you get to the book of Revelation, John, who was given permission by Christ to write the vision of the Revelation, says to all the 12 tribes with their spurs, they were scattered by that in the Roman Empire. Most of them had to go outside the Roman Empire just so they could practice this new founded religion called Christianity.
Right. So the Catholics,
because they counterfeit. You see one of the names that what our arch enemy has is called deceiver. He's the accuser of the brethren, he's a deceiver, and he's a counterfeiter. All right? So with that in mind, you can see with all the deception, because there's a spirit working in the sons, as it's mentioned in the epistles, the sons of disobedience. And there are sons of obedience and there are sons of disobedience. So then you have to think, and if a deceived person doesn't know that they're deceived, that's the problem. They think they're right on course, when in fact they're absolutely deceived. That's why the book of Revelation talks about all the deception that will come about. And it says, if it were even possible, as Christ said, that this great false prophet, this great deceiver would deceive even the very elect, God's own elect, that are elected to
Okay,
the
so
service.
take me back to Peter.
okay, yeah, I want to know. Okay, so why were they so?
Stay right there.
Why did the Catholic Church decide that Peter was going to be the first?
Because they feel, because that's
based on the fact that he was the most influential disciple or apostle.
But the Apostle Peter would have never gone along with the doctrines of the Catholic Church. They were the total antithesis. They were total opposite of what God taught.
Oh.
And then there's another scripture that talks about God's flock being a little flock, not a huge flock. You know, there are, about 2 billion Catholics in the world? I think 2 billion Catholics and 2 billion of the Muslims, you know. So, I mean, obviously the Catholic Church is the most widespread religion in the world. Between God and Magog, Russia and China, it's going to be the Oriental Bloc coming against the United States of Europe, or the Catholic Europe, shall we call it, the European United. The chow line. To embarrass in front of all their buddies.
What?
Yeah.
What ship was this?
I was on USS St. Paul. CA-7. I'm going to get my son to make me a cap like that for my old ship.
So they missed movement.
They missed ships.
They missed the ship, and then they ended up in the brig, the squids.
Yeah.
And
then the Marines are in charge. And then when they come into port, they pull the Liberty card from the sailor, the guy that's in the brig, and the Marine guard that's guarding them.
In other words, so you're stuck in the brig.
So you're stuck in the brig, and the Marine is watching you.
Yeah.
And his liberty is pulled too, because he's got to watch you.
So now he's pissed off. So
he's madder than hell.
God, and he saw that. It really beat him.
Yeah, I saw.
I mean, I was down at the brig on the Kennedy, but I never went there because I was,
I didn't go there either, but
inmate or anything,
But I just remember that there was two.
I think he's been doing them out. I'm not sure how well it's working. What I think he's done is gone and deputized past the bandits, hoping that if he'd let them play with the guns, they would be on the side of the law, which I think works during the daylight hours. But now, I would tell you, after dark, I would not trust him one bit. And if you're here after dark, they might very well just come right back on and rob this train.
Good thing I left my jewelry at home.
Oh, not you, yeah. And now, you're not always the brightest ones. You probably could have given them just like a wrapper or something, they might have fallen for it. They're not really the brightest train robbers in the world. Now, don't tell them I said that.
So
don't worry about it too much.
1880s?
Well, yes. I think it's pretty obvious.
Is that pretty authentic?
Well, I guess it's as authentic as, I mean,
this would have been like during the Queen Victoria,
and if it doesn't have quite all the ironwork she would have had, oh my goodness, she was wiping herself in every which way, and I'm not going that quickly. No.
She's real uppity. Yeah, I know. I never liked her at all.
Oh my goodness, she just also.
No, my dad was born in 1900. And my mother was born in 1906, and the era that they were born in was during Queen Victoria, so they have the family photos.
Oh my goodness.
And I mean, the women had their necks completely covered. They had their heads covered, and they had their
I think that's the proper way for a lady to dress. I'm glad that they did that.
You know, I would say if the blizzard going on outside, I might agree with you.
Yeah.
If it's anything less than the blizzard, I would tell you, I kind of think I want to be festive and put it gets a little bit warm on a warm summer day. I don't know.
Out here, it really gets warm, doesn't it? Yeah, there must be a lot of clothes to wear.
Yeah, no, you see that?
It's a bit nippy.
I have little hat pins from way back then from a grandmother, so but I don't wear those fancy hats that require a hat pin. Oh, I'm not doing that. I might poke myself in the head.
Yeah,
oh, no.
This isn't a formal train. This is just to be as regular.
Looks like you are up on fashion, though, for your day.
I've been trying all day to get to Sweetwater, but somehow this train just doesn't seem to stop there anymore. I keep talking to the conductor.
Did you say Sweetwater?
Well, yeah, Sweetwater.
Sweetwater is like, isn't that in Florida?
Well, there's maybe more than one. I wasn't going that far. Although I hear Florida is a lovely state, a little swampy.
Yeah,
but other than that, I hear a lovely state. But
got alligators.
Oh, I don't think I like
the Everglades.
Yeah, I don't think I like the alligators.
Big lizards.
Now here we have rattlesnakes, so I don't like them either.
Well, that's
every area, I suppose you have some you
that's
just don't like.
I think
normally in the desert, you know, we have rattlesnakes.
Well, if you look around here, you notice we got quite a few cactus around here. We're pretty close.
Yeah,
I do.
There are snakes right in this area.
Yeah.
This is a desert area. Actually, it wasn't until Mulholland brought down the water from the Sierras that this was nothing but a desert.
Yes, rabbits, just full of snakes and the lizards I can live with, although they make me jump. But it's those rattlesnakes. Oh my goodness, I can't jump.
You hear that shaking? You hear that shaking? You know they're baking. They're ready.
Oh my! I'm gonna have to remember that one.
Yeah, you know they're ready.
Oh my goodness, yes. And
or they say, what shaking? A rattlesnake shaking.
Do you think we'll be safe, ma'am, on this trip?
Now, you know, I think because we're still in the daylight hours, we should still be safe.
Yeah.
Now, I would say within an hour, because that sun starts to go down somewhere.
Yeah.
You start getting past 5 o'clock. It gets a little bit iffy around here.
They only come out at dark, don't they? They really think that they get emboldened because they think that you're.
I think they think no one can see them or recognize them.
Right.
And like I say, they're not necessarily the brightest trained brand.
Oh, they're not buying. Okay, that's good.
I mean, if you have to, just hand in your trash and they'll probably fall for it. But just be careful after dark. Sometimes out on the street.
I'm going to see he'll just accept my salad if he wants to steal something.
Yeah. If it had hot sauce, you might get away with that, but I don't know.
This is a spicy chicken salad, so it's kind of like
Maybe that's what you say. It's got chicken on it.
Chicken, okay, but don't they like
Thousand Island?
Don't they like beef though? Are they like they're kind of like Angus? I think it might have been Angus chicken, so maybe eat that.
Right. They might just go
Angus.
for it.
Okay, all right.
Right now, I think we're safe, so you can hang on to it in case you get a little fish. You can still nibble on it a little bit.
Really? All right. Thank you. Gosh, I
hope you make your station.
Yeah, I keep talking to this conductor, and he keeps saying, we just missed Sweetwater. Now, I don't know if he expects me to jump from a moving train. But I'm going to stay on this train till I get there or until the bandits come out. Then I'm taking off. I'll go check on my aunt later.
I would.
Last time I got mugged, the mugger asked me, he says, your money or your life? And I told her, I got to think about it.
Do you really want it? Because I'm not your ass.
Yeah, once you get down, I'm done with it anyway.
What's my money going to be worth if I'm not around to enjoy it?
Well, that's true.
That's pretty smart. That makes sense. Yeah.
But I says, your money or your life?
Sometimes you feel like saying, well, now, if you take my life, will you pay my bills too? Because I got plenty of those.
Yeah.
I don't think they'd go for that, would they?
No, they would. They say they would.
We got to try it, maybe. Yeah,
They say they'd do it, but then why? Who would?
Who knows if they're really going to do it? That's true.
That's true, yeah. So how can you trust that?
Well, I know. They're always a suspect bunch, aren't they? Just suspect bunch. And you know what? Well, I know our train bandits, I think half of them didn't make it all the way through school. Some of them, I think, are former students of mine that did not make it through.
You're a teacher?
Oh, I'm a school teacher. Oh, you know, we got
Did you teach in the 19th century?
Well, I teach from the 1st to the 8th grade. I teach all of them, and we got a little one-room schoolhouse here. So I try to teach everything, but you know, I don't have a decent map in that school. So I can't, my geography's not worth anything.
Oh, you don't?
My dad was born in 1900, my mother in 1906. And my dad had a 7th grade education, and my mother only went up to the 6th grade.
Well,
that was how it was around the turn of the 20th century.
Now, sometimes that's enough. You know, that's enough to get them through where they can do the reading, the writing, and the math. They can work in a store, they can work on the farm, or they can do what needs to be done.
Yeah, that's
I don't even want to think now.
Because now they want you to have at least 4 years of college.
Oh my goodness, that's not.
I mean, that's just showing how the
They got gizmos and things like that. Even you go to college, you have to figure out how those gizmos work. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
4 years college doesn't do enough for the gizmos and so much. And then they send you on these what all their math and science. They send you upside down and backwards and scramble your brains up. Oh my goodness.
I know, I hate those gizmos.
They gotta help me with my school.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
wouldn't show any skin whatsoever.
No skin. My wife would love to dress like that. She doesn't want to show any skin if she has to.
She likes
wants
an
to cover
umbrella,
everything.
your wife.
She needs an umbrella. Yeah, she wants to be a Gishi doll or a Gishi T-shirt, whatever. All right. Well, wow. This is going a little fast.
What's that green one over there?
The green one. Oh.
But are you planning on one of those carries upside down and backwards rides?
We were thinking about it. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, we were thinking about it.
I worry about that.
Yeah.
Now, I don't have any scientific proof on this, but I think when you go upside down and backwards, a few brain cells leak out your ears. I'm sure
that's my proof.
I can't go on this.
Oh, my goodness. No.
Yeah, but he
I
got.
have no excuse. I don't want to go on them.
Last year,
he's got.
I did, and I paid the.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness.
We almost gave him an aneurysm last year.